I am Yvonne, principal at Kafour Law Firm. We are located in Dallas, Texas. I'm a certified mediator, family law, and personal injury attorney. On this channel, I would educate you and I will empower you to resolve your own legal issues. My goal is to save you time, money, and help minimize conflict, stress, and anxiety while going through one of the most challenging times in your life. Now, this channel cannot and does not contain legal advice. The legal information here is provided just for informational and educational purposes. Before you take any advice on this channel, consult with the licensed attorney in your state. We do not provide any legal advice on this channel. And so any reliance or use of the information you get from here is solely at your own risk. Knowing what to expect in mediation will give you the confidence that you need to work through your session, to work through your mediation session. So in this video, we will talk about the stages of mediation, and I will give you tools and pointers to prepare you for your mediation session. So let's get into it. Before the mediation begins, the mediator gathers information from you through an intake process. And so then the mediator schedules the mediation. At the mediation, you walk in, the first thing is the mediator gets to introduce himself, and the parties get to introduce themselves to the mediator. The mediator gets to give an open remark, inviting you to the mediation and giving you information about mediation, the rules of mediation. The mediator allows each party to make an initial statement. And so that's your time to state what your issues are and what you hope to achieve in mediation. So after the parties are done with their statements, the mediator then gathers information. And so the mediator would request you to provide information that supports your point. So both parties have a chance to do that. That portion of mediation is very important. And so the recommendation is that you take notes before you come to mediation, because at that point, you're given evidence and you're providing proof for your position. Then the next point is problem identification. The mediator helps the parties to identify what problems they have. And the problem identification stage is where you're able to figure out what you both agree on and what you don't agree on. And so when the mediator helps you determine what you do not agree on, then the next stage starts. That would be option generation stage. During the option generation stage, the mediator is asking the parties, what do you think are options to resolve in the particular issue? And so this is your time to provide alternatives and to provide options for a particular dispute. The mediator gives both parties a chance to do this. Again, this portion is very important because this is your time to tell the mediator what works for you. Then the next stage in the mediation process after the option generation is the bargaining and the negotiation stage. This stage is equally important, very important, because now you're beginning to have an open mind. You're beginning to work through each of the options generated. And so the mediator tells you what options the other party has provided, and the mediation provides your options to the other party. You both work together, negotiating back and forth. This stage of mediation typically takes a little bit longer because the mediator's having to go back and forth to try to negotiate the case. And the hope now is after you've generated the options and after that you've negotiated, we're now talking about an agreement. This is almost the end of your mediation session. Then you have the closure. The closure is where the mediator gives you both a break and drafts the mediator settlement agreement. So now let's talk about the tools to prepare you for mediation. Number one, it's important that you outline what's most important to you. And so when you get into mediation, you already have it outlined. This is what I want and this is what's important. Number two, identify what is important to the other party. It's important. Figure out what the other party wants from the situation. Then number three, in custody cases, it's important for you to outline the reasons why you believe In this case, maybe you should be named the primary. And for example, I'm the one that takes the child to school. The child lives with me for the most part because the other party travels a lot. So those are important pointers. Number 4, provide recent pay stubs. W-2s, 1099s for the past 3 years are important. Number 5, provide health insurance information for the children. It's important for the mediator to know that the children have current coverage. Number 6, community asset. Provide a list of the community asset that you control. For example, bank statements. If you have your bank statement separate from your spouse or separate from the party that you're working with, then you need to have proof of the statement. Provide current house notes, current house payments. Determine what the equity is in the home, because sometimes that's a big issue. How do we divide the property? When you have information about the equity, it's easy to work through mediation. We know how to divide the property. Provide things like retirement statements, value of vehicles. And most importantly, if you have allegations, provide proof of all the allegations you have. Now, number 7, community debt. Just like you have provided information about community assets, you want to provide information about your community debt. That means that you're providing proof of your credit card statements to show the balance. Think about your best outcome before mediation. If this case goes to trial, what would your worst day be? What would your best day be? It's important to know what outcome you would get if you go to trial. That would help you work through mediation. Finally, for mediation to work, you want to come prepared to compromise, come prepared to work hard to settle your disputes. It is possible. If you have not already done so, be sure to subscribe to my channel. Turn on the bell notification so that you are notified when I post a new video.